Everyone, we are here finally at the Jack's Patio Bar to support the tour called Revelations, and one of the bands opening up the gig tonight is all the way from Brisbane, Australia. It brings me great pleasure to welcome Nuclear Blast artists, the band AVERSIONS crowned. I have with me Mark and Jay of the band. Gentlemen, welcome to our program.
Thank you so much, man. Happy to be here. Super sick.
and Mark, how are you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm having a good night. Played a killer show. What more can you ask for?
Let's talk. We have lots to talk about, man. First of all, share a little bit about the beginnings of this band.
Well, from the very beginning, man, to be honest, I never knew or thought that the band would reach the level that it has reached. And coming over here with zero expectation and people treating us absolutely amazingly and the shows being insane, I'm pretty speechless with it. I can't ask for anything else, really. Like, it's been so sick. So yeah, it's been a long progression, but where we're at now, I can't be happier, man.
And so, like, how long has the band been together? And was there like a metal scene in Brisbane where you guys kind of got your beginnings?
Yeah, well, the band sort of started a long time ago with a few dudes, including myself, Chris, our other guitar player, who does write, and he doesn't really tour. But yeah, it started about, I'm going to say about 6 years ago now. And it started with a few other dudes that obviously ended up, couldn't take on the full-time touring and stuff like that. The metal scene in Brisbane is pretty weird. Like, there is a metal scene, but it's very all over the place. Like, it's for this sort of metal, it's not as big as what we wish it was, sort of thing. And I think that goes for the whole of Australia. Like, Australia love bands like, like the Amity Affliction, North Lane. They're into that, like, genty sort of, like, pop punky sort of stuff. Hardcore's massive in Australia, but when it comes to what we do, like the more on like the death metal or deathcore side, whatever you want to call it, there is a scene for it, but it's not enormous, I don't think. So, but it's good. It's a good little tight knit scene. Like, there are a lot of bands that we all know each other. Like dude, Vardy's Murder. Like, they're made. We've known them for years. Like, bands like that, Make Them Suffer, all those sorts of bands. We're all in the same area. We all know each other. It is a pretty small community. Definitely not on the scale like America, where you come here, you go to like LA, Hollywood area, and every single artist on the planet is literally within 15 minutes of each other, which is the most mind-blowing thing ever. But yeah, it's super sick, man. It's all sick.
So Jay alluded a little bit to the fact that you guys are kind of playing like this really kind of extreme type of deathcore, but yet you guys are delivering kind of a little something unique too. I know there's a lot of guitar stuff going on, and you're doing some intense stuff behind the kit too, man.
I'm trying.
Yeah, the machine gun. So let's talk a little bit. Mark, share a little bit about what do you think your style of kind of the deathcore that you're delivering?
I think we do it a little bit different than most people or most bands. I think like we more focus on the atmosphere that kind of is portrayed through our music. So like in certain sections we really try and like make you feel a certain way, whether it be like very black metal or it be like very evil sounding or very spacey, you know what I mean? I think like we're I guess arguably a deathcore or death metal band, but we like to focus on the lead guitar and make it make it very atmospheric while also making it very riffy and not repetitive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's talk about your sophomore effort out on Nuclear Blast Records. The title of it, people out there, is called Xenocide. Go ahead and check out the cover work. Very killer release. You use the word atmospheric. Every time I listen to this record, I hear something new in the background. Obviously, as your second release, you kind of feel that you guys have kind of elevated what you did further than what you did with the debut.
Absolutely. The previous album, Tyrant, which was released on Nuclear Blast as well, it was, I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, a lot of people had input into it, whereas like Xenocide, I think, is a lot more personal, considering we had no outer input. It was literally like all Chris's ideas. Nothing was, moved or monitored, or someone saying, nah, that's not going to work, like, do this. And then it was like all his ideas, all my drumming ideas, like no one sitting there going, nah, that blast beat won't work there, this won't work here. And then obviously Mark, 100% lyrics, placement, all that sort of stuff. So I feel that this album's a lot more personal because we did put all the effort into it ourselves with no outside perspective, and like it worked. Hey, like, and like I love it. It's a killer release. I'm super proud of it.
It sounds. Go ahead, continue, Mark.
I like to believe it's pure art.
Pure what?
Pure art.
Pure art. It is a beautiful piece of work. I mean, the music's great. The cover work is really cool. I'm going to ask you about the little character, who that character is in the front. Also, too, one of the things I love about this record, it just sounds so damn good on the stereo, man. Let's talk a little bit about the production. Okay. I know that you guys produced it in Australia, but also had Mark Lewis of Audio Hammer down in Florida master it and mix it. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, so pretty much we've got a really good friend of ours who's been a long-time friend. His name's Adam Merker. He owns a 6 studio up towards the Sunshine Coast. And he's a very, very good friend of ours, you know. He owns his studio with his family. And we thought we'd keep it, obviously, because flying over to the States and doing the whole thing, it's very costly. It's the biggest deal ever. We want to do that, but for this one, we were like, we can do this way. So with Adam's help and his time, we did track everything there. We did track all the drums there. We tracked all the guitars, obviously Mark's vocals and everything like that. And working with Mark Lewis previously on Tyrant, we've worked with a lot of people with singles and projects and bits and pieces, but Mark Lewis, I got to give him huge props. He is one of the coolest guys in this scene, and there needs to be a million more people like him, because he helped us start to finish. I mean, before we even started tracking it at Adam's house, you know, we were on Skype together because we wanted to track the drums correctly, and, you know, sit down, Skype lesson with him, about how are we going to do this, what's the best way to approach this, and he was just so sick from start to finish. So between Adam and Mark Lewis just working together correctly, and everyone just being super understanding of what pretty much the end result was, like, mind you, we did have everything completely pre-pro'd, so everyone was like, okay, here's the vision sort of thing, this is where we need to get it to. Just, yeah, everyone just had the right idea all in one go, basically, and pretty much Mark, with the mixing and mastering process, was just like the final touch, because, I mean, everything that dude's done is fucking amazing, like, in my opinion anyway. Like, he's one of the kings, man. So, I mean, I can't really think of anything. Yeah, I literally can't complain. Like, even just talking to him, he still talk to him, like, on the internet, man. He's the sickest dude.
Okay, Mark, let's talk lyrically now about the title Xenocide, and of course all the morbid, heavy, evil stuff that lyrically that you're delivering on this record. If there was a theme overall about Xenocide, what is that?
I mean, the Xenocide in general is a concept album. So basically, it tells a story. But basically, the overall theme of it, I would like to say, is that I don't know, aliens don't like human beings, and that's as simple as it gets. It tells that in the album. You can read that through the lyrics, is that the creation of humans and where it went wrong, and why the aliens don't like where they went with it. So that's that's basically the theme for it.
We're bad, barbaric people.
Well, we're not. Yeah, in a way.
We're not evolved consciously.
If you look at it in a way like how we treat the Earth, I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but yeah, I mean, we do some bad things to we do some bad things to planet Earth for sure, and we have some bad repercussions for that.
We recycle all of our beer cans here in Texas, so we're doing our part.
That's good. That's good.
One step at a time, right? One step at a time.
Exactly. Let's talk about this tour now. You guys are really on a kick-ass package. Oceano headlining. I heard that, you know, all these shows are doing well. Let's talk about a little bit about this tour. What's it been like getting in front of American audiences? I know this tour runs until kind of like the end of May. What are your feelings about some of what you're seeing across the states?
Well, yeah, when we got over here, and we got over here a few days before the actual tour started, and our first stop was like Inglewood in LA. So yeah, we're pretty much getting out at Inglewood thinking, fuck, what is going on? And then we had a massive drive to the first show. It took us like 40 hours, because I mean, everyone stopping for food every 2 seconds, and we eat a lot of ice cream, so service stations, you know. But yeah, first show, man, like I said, we had no expectations of what it was going to be like. Like, a few of our friends that we know from over here were like, oh man, people really like AVERSIONS in America, and we're like, oh, that's cool. But we couldn't really comprehend, like, if it was going to be a thing or not. But yeah, from the first show to literally this current show, it has been crazy. Like, people literally like they know who we are, they know the albums, they know the lyrics. They're up there singing with Mark. It's like pretty much exceeded all expectations for the first tour. And plus, we're touring with like a bunch of killer bands, and all the dudes in all the bands are sick. Like, I've known Adam for a while from Oceano, from a previous tour we did with them in Australia. But all the other dudes we didn't know until this tour, and everyone just gets along really well. I mean, we're all carpooling around and like hanging out and eating lunch together and stuff. So yeah, it's fantastic, man. I once again, I can't complain. This package is so sick, and the States has been great. Like, apart from the stupidly long drives, and like I can't believe how big some of the drives are crazy. But apart from that, man, it's awesome. The food's crazy. The people are crazy. Like, yeah, we love it so far. So
hopefully you'll get some Texas barbecue before you leave.
Already done it. I'm all about the barbecue, man.
We're already onto this. We're already onto this.
We've been smashing the barbecue as much as possible. We're big fans. Big fans. It's great.
So this tour will end, and what's the plan for after this run? What would you like to do for the rest of 2017?
Well, after this tour finishes, we actually are going to Canada with a band called The Last 10 Seconds of Life. So yeah, I agree. We're going to go there and do 12 dates with them. And then after that, we're going to actually go back to Australia, be home for like 4 or 5 days, and then start an Australian tour. 3 days. There you go. It's even less. So like, we're going to do an Australian tour, and then after that, we're going to actually go to Europe and do some festivals and some off shows with bands like Whitechapel and Within the Ruins. So yeah, we've got a lot of planned for this year, and hopefully towards the end of the year, we're going to have even more planned. So I guess you never know. Like, when you're in the music scene, it's just kind of happens, and you got to roll with it, right?
Seems like a busy year for the band. That's all good. It's going to fly by. Obviously, for people like me, you know, who have come onto the band this past year, it seems that Nuclear Blast is really putting forth a strong effort in supporting Aversion's Crown in the U.S.
Nuclear Blast have been so good to us, like, and like even like the belief of like Xenocide's gonna do its thing, and yeah, they've been so good. They really have been super supportive, and all the dudes, Europe and in the US that we've spoken to, emailed, everyone's been super sick. So, and they all dig the album, so the record. So I'm so stoked. Yeah.
They're really nice. Like, they're very supportive of our band, and that's very humbling to know that they hear the art we create and they back it 100%. So that for me personally and for the whole band it's just something that we like to take pride in, you know what I mean?
Talk a little bit about the videos.
Yeah, which one's the oh man.
Go for it. I saw the one that it looks like there's some evil seance kind of thing going on. And then there's the UFO at the end, right? That's a UFO?
Yeah.
I saw it, I was like, holy smokes.
So
aliens are evil.
The idea behind, well, the whole thing about that video is that's all filmed in Jaden's basement, in his garage, in his house. We actually did that very DIY with a close friend of ours, Red Boss, who...
It looks totally pro.
Yeah, it is. And we got like a whole bunch of costumes set up, and we wrote like a little storyline to the video. And we just like, we tried to portray the song's lyrics in like a video that was actually doable in Jaden's garage. And I think it's really nice because it came out very professional for, like, we basically did most of it ourselves. I remember Jaden actually spent like half a day like blacking out all the walls in his garage and stuff like that just so we could film the video, and we got like tables and like fire sticks and stuff to make it look very satanic and stuff like that. So I think it's cool. It actually looks like a ritual, and I think it shows that bands, if you put your mind to something, you can actually achieve something great for very little cost.
Killer, guys. Great video. I will definitely share it on our program. As we end out, any last words for the people out there around the world who want to learn more about Aversion's Crown?
Oh man, just keep following us. I mean, we've got a lot planned. We're not stopping anytime soon. Like, our plans for the future for this band are massive, and we're going to push as hard as we can to achieve them. Pretty much anyone that's ever supported us and Nuclear Blast label, everything, we can't thank you guys enough. It's so sick. So yeah, thanks heaps.
Mark, any last words?
I just want to thank all the fans that have come out to these American shows. I think it's absolutely awesome to know that we've never been here before and that people are screaming the lyrics, even for the new stuff out of Xenocide. I want to thank Nuclear Blast for being absolutely awesome and always backing us, and the rest of my band for being the best dudes I've ever met and traveling the world and having an absolute good time. So yeah.
Cool. Jay,
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on our program, Mark. Thank you. Hopefully we'll cross paths again as you come through the Lone Star State. Remember, everyone out there, the latest from the band is called Xenocide. It's out on the Nuclear Blast Records label. I want to give a big shout out to my man, Charles Elliott, for hooking me up with the band. You saw Aversion's Crown only on Rob's MetalWorks.